Get money, what you say, huh? Get money, what you say, huh? I haven't played my theme song in like a cool little minute. Let me see if I can find that for y'all real quick. What's good, money getters? It's Monday. I just got through meditating and doing my morning, spending my morning time with God, reading the Word. I'm in Corinthians right now. Today I read Corinthians 11. Um, Let me just say, if you're a believer, spend time with God. Turn off your TV, put your phones down, get quiet so you can hear His voice. Get quiet so you can hear your voice. There you go, Joshua. Joshua, what's good, bro? Good morning to you. Happy Monday. How are you feeling this morning? Um, Thanks for tuning in with me and always showing love and support for the girl. I appreciate you coming in and hitting that like button. But as I was saying, get close to God and actually really sit with the word and read it. I'm reading the New International Version. And good morning, sir. Good morning to you. And it's very digestible. I love Paul. I love Paul. I love his letters to the church. I love how he breaks down how we should behave as Christians, how we should treat each other. You know, because he talks a lot. A lot of people think about how they want to be blessed and how they want to be forgiven, right? They think about their relationship with God, but what they don't consider is the fact that your relationship with God, you honor Him by the way you treat others. That's how God is everywhere. He's everywhere because He's a spirit, but He can be everywhere because He can use you. And He can't use you if you don't love people. You can go through this world accomplishing many things, but if you're not helping Him to save souls, if you're not helping to bring people to Christ, if you're not loving on people, then you're then anything you do is for naught. So I'm not trying to be preachy this morning, but I'm just saying I gotta say that, I gotta put that out there. I just read the word and I gotta spread love and light this morning. And it's a reminder for me as well. Like I go about my day and after I read my word, I may or may not always uh, fall in line, right? Some days I fall short, but please remember, please know that because I read the Bible every day, I'm convicted, and conviction is a catalyst for change. Like you can't just read the Bible and pray to God and backslide without feeling convicted by it, right? And not only that, if you the more you know, the more that is required of you. So because I know better, I have to do better. And when I don't, it's harder for me. Sometimes I'm like, God, why you punish me so much? And it's because I know. I know what's right. And it's because I love God. And when God loves you, He's gonna discipline you just like if it's your kids, right? And they do something wrong or whatever, and you want to retrain them or you want to change a negative behavior, you're going to restrict them, right? You're going to take something from them or you're going to delay blessing them with something, right? Say, for instance, if your kids are going to school and they're not staying on task, you're going to take away their cell phones. Or if they're not making good grades and Christmas is coming up, they may not get the same gifts that you had planned on giving them because they haven't, uh, you don't want to, not they haven't, but you don't want to reward bad behavior, right? So how much more does God love us? He loves us way more than we love our children or even more than we love ourselves. So he's definitely going to be patient with us and do things to show us um, how we can be better because he wants to win our souls. Good morning, Smooth. Good morning to you. How are you doing? Just coming here with some good vibes this morning. cleansing the timeline. I'm, going around supporting and dropping by different YouTubes. And I noticed something, I noticed that there's been a shift. I noticed some people bickering and not really getting along, and I don't like seeing that. I don't want to really engage it too much or indulge it too much because I don't want to like fuel to the fire. But I do want to say that we got to get back to what we started with, and that was to support each other. We won't always agree. We're not always going to agree with each other, but and it should be all love. Like sometimes, I'm gonna be honest, I don't always enjoy all the content that I support. I don't always agree with all the content creators that I support. However, they support me, so I find a way to support them back. Um, if they have a live, I try to show up in there and I try to comment in there and I try to refrain from being antagonistic or detracting from my support. If you're there to support somebody, support somebody. You don't have to agree to support them. You don't have to agree. You don't even have to like it. And if somebody comes to your lives and they stay and they comment and they help with their engagement, do the same thing for them. Don't be like, oh, I don't like that live or I'm not really entertained by that live, so I'm going somewhere else. If I see people do that, if I see people do that, Smooth, you're welcome, Smooth. And if I see people doing that, because I pay attention, I pay attention to my analytics. I pay attention to the people who come in and out of my chats. I know who you are. I know if you're engaged or not, right? I don't know if you're still there, but I know if you're engaged. And you could still be there in the bushes, but if you're not engaging, then I don't know you're there. So guess what? When it comes time for me to go to your live or go to your shorts, if when it comes time for me to decide who I'm gonna support, it's gonna be the people who like M3, like Yo Yo, and you, Smooth. You're right here. You're always right here. Well, I appreciate yours and anyone who supports me and my content. But to be honest, they don't come through as much as me. But hey, I'ma still do me and be me. I heard that, that's actually the right frame of mind to have, Smooth, is to do what you would want somebody else to do, not what they do. That's not what I do. That's not what I do at all. And what I'm saying to you is if I have an opportunity, if I have time to go and support others' content, right? And it's a choice between you, Smooth, and somebody else who doesn't support me as much. Even if the other person is talking about something that I much rather go and support, right? Say they have a good topic and say you don't. I'm not saying that you don't have good topics, but I'm just saying, where would I spend my time at first? It's only right that I come and show you love first because you always show me love, is what I'm saying. So that's just the way it goes. But and that's what I try to do. Like if I see that nobody's live, I go like shorts and go support shorts. If I see that people are live, then I go and support their lives. I do that with intention. Like if I'm not going live just yet, or if I'm busy, like I was taking my hair down watching lives and supporting shorts. If I'm getting ready and putting on my makeup, I'll get both my phones and turn on two lives and comment back and forth because I'm getting ready. And, I can support like that. So that's what I try to do. But that's just what I want to talk about this morning. It's just being supportive and being encouraging. Because if you're not being encouraging, you're being discouraging. Okay? If you're not encouraging others, you are discouraging others. So this week, put out what you want to receive and recognize those people who are supporting you by giving that support back. Right. Everybody always sees and hears about you because you're always there for others. But one thing for sure, Smooth, um, while supporting others too, you got to make sure you put your content out. You got to make sure you go live because, you know, Reciprocation is a part of success. Supporting others is a part of it, but also staying motivated and inspired is also a big chunk of it, right? So we have to make sure that I see 4 people in here, but only 2 likes. Can I get you, all 4 of you, to hit the like button this morning? Well, all 7 of you now. Can I get all 7 of you to hit the like button for me? I appreciate that, and thank you in advance for doing so. Um, and that's, I this morning I was scrolling through my phone and trying to go back to sleep. I knew I wasn't going back to sleep. So you guys hear my deep voice this morning. But I said, let me put my phone down because um, I don't know if it's me being convicted, but I feel God calling me in the mornings. He's like, Charity, come read your Bible. Come spend time with me. So I put everything down and I'm just thinking about my week ahead. I'm thinking about all that is in front of me that I have to accomplish. I'm thinking about personal things that I need to do, things that are regarding my health that I need to concern myself with. And when I got quiet, I was able to see and feel the fear and the sadness inside of me. When we have our televisions on, when we're scrolling through our phones, we are not able to hear God, and we're not able to check in with ourselves. Have a good day at work, friend. Don't work too hard. I appreciate you for stopping by. Everybody say bye, Smooth, and everybody check Smooth out. SMOOV, Smooth. He's a great supporter and a good content creator. Um, so, because I got quiet and I just started taking deep breaths um, and releasing it, I was able to check in with myself and I was able to feel everything I was feeling. And I had put everything in the back of my mind, but I needed to feel that. And I needed to give my fear to God, my worry and my concern and my sadness, um, and my ambivalence about what the future holds for me. I said, I gave it to God. So, you know, and I just felt sad in that moment. But now I don't have to feel anything because I released it. I gave it to Him and I prayed over it. So, if you have any qualms about life right now today, I want to just remind you to give it to God. Maybe you have a different higher power. When I say God, I mean my Lord and Savior, Father of Jesus Christ. Okay, that's what I mean. So, for you that may be different, but when I approach my spirituality, when I approach um, the Most High, whenever I talk about that, to be clear, I'm talking about God, um, the only true God, the only wise God. I'm talking about Him. Um, so I don't want that to be confused, but I'm not ever going to tell somebody you must believe in this. But hopefully, and that's why, it really matters to me who I am on here. It really matters to me what I do on here because um, I want to be fruitful and not a successful YouTuber, but a fruitful person in that people see my changed behavior or they're inspired by something I say or do, and they say, you know what? Let me pick up my Bible or let me pray or let me meditate today. And I'm going to tell you it works. It helps you calm down. It helps you to um, confront life head on. You may be uh, stressed at work or you may be going through a health issue right now, right? And you may think that you're all alone or no one understands, but when you give it to God, not only can He change the outcome that you're going through, but He can help you to endure whatever it is that you're going through. So that's why you want to pray, and that's why you want to go to Him first. You may have aspirations this week of getting further along at work or committing to a project at work and doing a good job at work. Perhaps you're in school. Um, Maybe your marriage is going through some changes and you want to do better as a husband or wife. Whatever it is you're going to be faced with this week, whatever that's challenging you, know that you don't have to do it on your own. And I think that's what we don't realize in this life is that we're not alone. Even if we don't have friends or family, we are still not alone. Good morning, Mama MMG. Good morning. No, he will never leave us or forsake us, Mom. Everybody say good morning to my mom, Joyce. Thank you for tuning in. You're up early this morning, Mama. I got to come over there and see you as well this week. But you're absolutely right. He will never leave us or forsake us. Even when our friends turn their backs on us, even when our mother and fathers forsake us, even when we don't have good relationships with others, even when we feel like there's no one there, no one to turn to, he is right there. So turn to him. Give him your worries this week. Cast your cares on him. Ask him for insight. Ask him for. I thank God for creativity and my healthy imagination. I thank God for being opinionated and for being someone who is dogmatic about my opinions. I thank God about for that. I'm not always agree with. As a matter of fact, many disagree with me and disapprove of how I do things, but that's on them. Like, I feel like yes, I've gotten better at I've gotten better at, communication. I've learned to hold back because as much as God has given me an opinionated stance on life, He's also wants us to be slow to anger, slow to speak, and quick to listen. Thank you. Joyce says, good morning, chat. May God bless you. May He direct your paths. Absolutely. Amen. Um, Joyce, you took the number one spot from Smooth. Did you guys all hit the like button? Because it's 5 of you in here and only 3 likes. I know I hate to keep saying that, but I just want to remind you. And the reason why I do that is because sometimes I go into a chat and I immediately start commenting, and then I'm like, oh, okay. And especially if the host says, could you guys hit my like button? Sometimes I'll notice that I didn't do so, so I'll go back and do that. But yes, I'm not gonna. This live isn't gonna be too lengthy. I don't have a lot of notes. Just how I'm feeling. At the start of September, I was down in the dumps myself. I was just like, it took me a few days to shake it off. And I said this yesterday, I think, but I'm gonna say it again. Even after I had gotten good news that I had been waiting a while to hear, I still was down in the dumps. So I had to work at um, renewing my mind. I had to work at changing my thought pattern, and I just had to really lean on God that week. And here I am today. So you have to do that. Motivation just won't come. Inspiration is just not there sometimes, right? No matter how much we want it to be, we have to work at it. And how do we do that? We turn to our faith. We listen to motivational speeches. We listen to spiritual leaders. We change the music and the music we are listening to. We change what we're watching. We get quiet and we sit still and we allow ourselves to hear the voice of God. Sometimes it could quite naturally just be what you are a part of that's causing you to feel down in the dumps, right? Because you're listening to this, to being this morning, and you're getting the reminder to be diligent, to turn to God, to cast your cares on Him, you're more likely to do that because you're hearing me say that to you. Because you're listening to me, you're going to be reminded this week that you don't have to rush into something, that you don't have to worry about whatever it is that whatever achievements you're trying to obtain. You don't have to concern yourself with all of that. All you have to do is meet the opportunity and be ready for success, right? And put in the work. You don't have to worry about the outcome. As long as you were there, as long as you were available and you were open, that's success. Because some people think about an ideal, some people dream about success, some people ruminate on it, but they never take the steps or they never proceed with any action. They're constantly talking about it, they're constantly journaling about it, they listen to the motivational speeches, but they never put thought to action, right? So you got to do that. You got to sit down and write out your plans, pray about your plans, allow God to be a part of your plans, and pray about it. There's a lot of things that I prayed about and I was able to achieve just because I prayed about it. And if I was left to my own devices, I never would have got there. So, um, again, don't think that you have to do it on your own or rest on your laurels. Don't think that you have to wait on others con- to to concede that your ideals are good. You don't have to wait for people to tell you and remind you that of that. If you know you have a good ideal, see it through. Um, if you think about it and if you dream about it, that's your indication that whatever you want to do is possible. And I know a lot of people don't believe that. They'll be like, they'll dream about it and be like, oh, you know what? That's just a pipe dream. Or they'll talk to one of their friends about it and their friend doesn't seem as enthusiastic as they would like them to be. So they'll take that as proof positive that their idea wasn't good. That's not true. If you think about it and you're dreaming about it, God has brought that ideal to you. Don't sleep. I always say that. Don't sleep. Wake it up. Wake it up. Um, 2 days ago, I woke up and I wrote out the synopsis of my next book. And then later on that day, I started the first chapter. So, and that was waking up from a dream. And you cannot remember your dreams if you start turning on your TV, if you start scrolling on your phone. When you wake up, even if you go to the restroom, keep everything quiet and lay down. That dream is going to download, and you don't know what that dream will be if you don't get quiet and listen. Sometimes God is giving you guidance and direction. He's giving us warnings. He's given us ideals to expound upon. Sometimes we can't interpret them, but we won't have anything to work with if we're rushing to our phones and if we're rushing to turn on a TV or start reading or anything else. No, be quiet in the mornings. Be quiet. Turn everything off so you can hear what God is trying to tell you. Be quiet so you can hear your imagination at work, so you can hear your creativity at work. You may have a problem that you've been trying to figure out and you can't get to the root of it. But get quiet, meditate, and then all of a sudden, oh, that's what I should do. Or this is how I should approach it. So let me drink some water. I'm getting thirsty, y'all. But yes, I'm not going to hold you guys too much longer. I just want to remind you all about how deserving you are, how much you can achieve, how your creativity matters, how your imagination should be the guide to your success, how you should think outside the box and not conform and not be intimidated, how you should be okay with knowing that you're that one, you're that girl, you're that guy, you're her, you're him. And what you have to add to this world means just as much to God as anybody else. I don't care how many obstacles are in front of you. I don't care what you lack. The things that you have to offer are just as valuable as anybody else. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how young or old you are. It doesn't matter about your family background, what opportunities you've missed out on, or what opportunities you never had. God can use you. He can use anybody. Okay? God is no respecter of man. He cares just as much about you as he does about me. He cares just as much about the poor person as he does the rich person. And he loves to put the first one last and the last one first. He loves to show up and do what only he can do. So, and I love that for me. I love it for me when God shows up and shows me his face and shows me how strong he is and how mighty he is. I love it. I love when I get to see that my humanness is no match for his holiness, right? I love that. I love that for me. So the same way he blesses me, he will bless you, right? Good morning, Kendi K all day. How are you doing? Thanks for tuning in and thanks for uh, your support. I'm just on here this morning reminding everyone to stay motivated, to stay consistent, and to keep showing up for themselves. I gotta go over there to your channel, Candy K. I haven't been over there in a minute. It's a lot of you all, and that's why I like to go live at different times of the day, because sometimes I forget about creators. Sometimes they might forget about me, right? And when you go live at different times of the day, you can reconnect with old friends or be reminded of your supporters that are there and who have always been there, but maybe they missed a live because you went live at a different time of day. Hey, Ryan. Good morning. The next move is to just stay in the groove, to stay positive. Um, I was actually watching a few things. I was just on your channel, and I was just thinking of how we were all supporting each other this summer. And I noticed that, some of us are getting away from our first intent, but we can get back to that. We have to stay encouraged and motivated. And we also have to remember that we are all individual thinkers. We are all in this for the same thing. Um, and that's because we like what we do and we want to create. And we also want to support other creators. So that's what we got to keep in mind and keep all of and you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about without saying it. But we got to stay away from the disagreements and all of that. We got to keep going and try to, stay positive this in this season of life. I mean, it's way too much going on in this world. If you have supporters, if you have people that you can support, like try to, you know, keep that in mind. Because one thing about we humans, we are going to disagree and we are going to find fault and we all have our ways, but we got to rise above that. Sometimes it can be difficult and sometimes it can be impossible, but right, it's life, but that doesn't mean we have to get mad at each other because we don't always agree, right? We got to just look past it. Okay, well, yeah, everyone isn't going to see eye to eye. It is what it is. It's life. Absolutely. Thanks for having me in your background. I'm not going to be on here too much longer. There's only one Candy K, though. Right, right, right. It's only one. And there's only one MMG. So, yeah, guys, I don't know if you know it or not, but I am officially retired. And now that I'm retired before 50, um, I'm making a pivot. I've started that pivot a couple of years ago, but it's official. Now I'm officially making that pivot. And I'm going to be focusing on my writing, focusing on content creation and things like that for some time. And then I'm also going to finally finish um, my master's degree. I've been working on that forever, starting and stopping, but I think I kind of know what I really want to focus on and concentrate on. So I'm going to be doing that. And I got to stay motivated. It's not going to be easy because when you work at a job, your day is set for you, right? You know what time you have to be there, and you know how your day is going to go. You know what time you're going to wake up in the morning. You probably plan what you're going to eat for lunch or where you're going to go for lunch. When you work and you have a 9 to 5, your day is set. But when you're retired, you got to make your day yourself. So you got to schedule your week and you got to come up with things to do. Because I'm a mom of 3 teenagers, um, I always have things to do. I never have a free day, like not even the weekends. And it's like the weekends belong to them, but they're my babies and I'm good with that. But the things I want to do, like focusing on my writing, focusing on content creation, is not always um, viable for me to do that because I have to make sure that they're good. I have to make sure that businesses handle that, they make it to appointments and that they have what they need. They come first. And I'm always going to make sure that they come first. But right now, too, I'm in a season of trying to put myself first and my health first so that I can be able to endure the demands of the day. Um, I've been eating healthier, so I'm more energetic and I have more energy. I know that's the same word, but um, and I'm also trying to rest more and eat healthier, right? Just so that I'm not feeling sick. For the last 2 years, I was feeling sick a lot. I was sick. Um, I had a lot going on, and I still have a lot going on. But because I changed my diet, some of that is being remedied. But yes, I have to exercise now that I'm almost 50. I have to exercise. I have to eat right, and today for me, this Motivation Monday was a reminder of my why. Why did I start the weight loss journey? Why did I change my diet? Because I lost like 33, 34 pounds, but I got out of, I'm at a standstill because while I'm still eating clean, I'm eating more. I noticed that I'm eating a lot more. So I had to get back to disciplining on myself with what I eat and how much I eat so that the weight loss can continue. Because not only has the weight loss stopped, I also found myself feeling a little bit more sluggish. And that's because I haven't been eating as many vegetables and things like that as I was in the beginning of my weight loss journey. Everything is temporary, good or bad. That's why I take everything in stride and keep faith in God. That is His word, not mine. Absolutely. Absolutely, Mr. Mulatto. I've said this before. I thought I would retire at 65. Like, this would be my job and my career. It took me a long time to get to this point, but I'm glad that I have this opportunity to pivot and to do something different. I'm absolutely glad because it's always been my goal to write books and to be a successful author. And I be, because I have children and I needed benefits and I needed stability, I began this career. But I always felt like, okay, I would work and still somehow find a way to write books. And I did start writing my books when I was still working, so I did have that opportunity. But when you're an author, when you're a creative, and I'm a creative, I'm not, uh, and some people are the types that want to use their hands. They like having the structure of a job. They like knowing that they have a paycheck coming in and benefits. They like knowing that they have that stability in life. But I'm a creative. I've always been a creative. I've always been attracted to dance, to music, to literature. I've always been an avid reader and writing. I've been writing songs and poems since I was like 7, 8 years old, as far back as I can remember. So working for someone else felt stifling. And the type of job I had was very, very stressful. So I didn't have any creativity once I got home. I didn't have any motivation to continue on with anything once I got home. It was just trying to get by day to day. So now that I have, you know, retirement, now I can focus on the things that inspire me. Yeah, I'll be relaxing and enjoying life for sure. We have plans to do a couple of trips. One in October. We said the end of October, but I don't know. I got to plan that right now and get our tickets. And also, I'm gonna do Hawaii in the spring. So I don't know if it'll be exact. My birthday's in February. I don't know if I'll do it exactly in February. I might do it in March. We'll see. Good morning, Real Diva. How are you doing this morning? See, a lot of people I'm noticing reconnecting with in the morning. Like it's a different set of you guys that's up in the morning, right? The early bird gets catches the worm. It's a different vibe in the evening time. I'm gonna tell you that. But I'm doing good. Just trying to stay motivated and remind you all to stay motivated and exchange that vibe with everybody, right? Like get on the same wavelength. Where this is the last week of summer, so we'll be ushering in a new atmosphere, right? The leaves on the tree are already changing and already starting to fall. The weather is calming down, and I don't know about you all, and it took me so many years to even conceive of this. When summer changes into fall, and when the seasons change, it's like God's way of readjusting us and realigning us. Like the summer, the days are longer, and it's an excitement, and it's a different energy. Like you want to be outside more, you want to spend time with friends and family more, you want to vacation. Um, you just want to do different things. When autumn comes in, you're calming down, right? Um, it's cooler. Um, you want to stay in more. You sleep longer, and that's why the nights in the fall are longer, because now you need to unwind and relax and rest. Your body needs to get rest and needs to get realigned, right? So that's why I like fall. I didn't used to like it as much because fall meant winter is on the way, but I even love winter now. I love the rain. I love being able to experience the different seasons of life as well. I like the ups and downs of life as well. I even recently said, God, please, I don't want to go through no more hardships. But I even accept those too, right? Honestly, of course, we all want to be able to live stress free and not have any issues or any problems. But I welcome challenges as well because they allow me to see God's hand in my life. And also, I'm spoiled. And a lot of us are spoiled, right? And we may feel like I've been through a lot, but I've also come out of a lot. Um, the last 20 years of my life seems like a blink of an eye. It really does. I had my career for 20 years, and it all seems like, and I bottle it all up, and I think about when I meditated this morning, I confronted everything that I had endured at this job, everything that I learned, um, everything that I was faced with, all the challenges that I had, the things that I got to experience. Um, it's a beast. It's a different beast working in law enforcement. Um, you know, so like I said, I'm happy to be leaving, but I'm also aware of the fact that I had some growing up to do, some maturing to do as well. And I feel like I did that. So I don't feel like, at first I did feel like, um, when I knew that I would be retiring or that I was up for retirement, at first I felt like I didn't meet my mark, but I did. Sometimes completion doesn't mean that you stay somewhere, right? If you're thinking about retiring or you're thinking about a life change, right? If you're thinking about a move, if you're considering ending a marriage, sometimes the completion wasn't that you remained married or that you remained in a position. The completion is that you learned what needed to be learned. You got out of it what you were supposed to get out of it, and now it's time to move on and take with you all the lessons that you learned and apply them elsewhere. So sometimes fear of the unknown, fear of change prevents us from taking that leap and moving on and doing something different. But God knows better than we do. What we have in mind is not at all what He has in mind for us. He may have placed a period there, and that might be as far as He wants us to go. He may have something bigger in mind for you, something bigger and better. I always fear, what if I make a mistake? What if I don't get to go any further? Well, we can't do anything about that. If God has set a standard for us and He has so far He wants us to go, and He doesn't intend for us to go any further, then that's just what it is. And we'll be chasing the wind. But we won't know without challenging those thoughts and without asking Him and putting it in His hands, right? God doesn't change His mind, but He is patient. And sometimes He will allow things to occur in our life if we find favor with Him. Um, Jacob, he wrestled with God all night. He said, I'm not going to let go until you bless me. And God did bless him. Um, Moses, God was going to strike him down, but his wife came and interceded on his behalf, and God allowed him to live longer. So don't think because you got sick, because you lost a job, because your marriage is ending, that means the end of you. It may just be the start of something new. And even if God had intended it to be your finish line, if you pray to Him and you go to Him, He will allow you to do something different. I've seen it happen. It's happened with me plenty of times. You too, you as well, Kendi. You have a great day. May God bless you and all that you have in store for you this week. May He be with you. And all of you, the rest of you as well. I'm going to get off of here. I got to get my day started and finish getting my hair braided. Tomorrow I go to the job and I do my termination process, start the termination process, turn in keys, turn in badges. They sent me this questionnaire. I'm not doing that because honestly, I don't know what I would say. I don't know. Maybe I will do it. Maybe I will give them my last thoughts on how they can do things better because they're having a hard time figuring it out. But God bless you all. And I hope that I inspired you to stay motivated. I hope that after hearing this live and after participating in this live, you renewed your mind and you're ready to take on this week and get it cracking. Okay? Because can't nobody do you better than you. No one is going to be a bigger supporter of you than you are to yourself. And can't nobody do it for you like God can. So cast your cares on Him and get to it. Get to it. All right, y'all. Have a blessed week and a good morning. Goodbye for now.